Call in by clicking the link in the stream's description. The professor wants to hear from you.
Beginnings on the cusp. Not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup. Something dirty in my cup. Clean soul, good car.
Isn't it lovely? I ain't looking back, I'm focused on what's in front of me. Everybody dates a number, but I'm still here luckily. I know that God got me, so I'm in good company. Isn't it lovely?
Welcome, and thank you for joining me today. I am Professor Bear, and this is A Bear's Thought. And today, we are being sponsored by two of my favorite things. One I have to start with is Tag Team Toys and Collectibles. Now, as when I was a kid, I was big into wrestling like I am today. So I had action figures, had a ring. I built my own promotion and everything. Man. And I used to actually work at a place with a giraffe. I ain't going to mention his name because I don't want to get sued by him. But I had a ton of wrestling figures, and I was cleaning out my garage one day, and I found a lot of them. And I'm like, man, you know, as much as I love them, I probably need to get rid of them. And that's when I found a great shop. If you're in the East Tennessee area, you need to go to Clinton, Tennessee to Tag Teams, Toys and Collectibles. They have everything. Oh my God, they go back, way back with action figures that I hadn't seen in years. They have, man, title belts. Yes, it's a belt I specifically want they have that I'm working to get. They have, man, just a ton of different things. Also, they actually have DVDs. And for all you old heads like me, they have VCR tapes. Man, they just have a ton of different memorabilia that I think you would love if you're anything like me. So what you need to do is go on Facebook and look up Tag Team Toys and Collectibles, and you could be getting figures like I have. And last but definitely not least is Chops Cards and Collectibles. Now, I just told y'all I was a big just kid with nerd, because I'm still a nerd. And man, I used to collect baseball cards, football cards, wrestling cards, you name it, I had it. And like most kids, man, you dream one day you're going to get a card with your own face on it. But I quickly learned that I was lazy and not athletic, so I knew it wasn't going to happen until Chops Cards. I am working on getting Professor Bear trading cards. I'm telling you, you could get 18 cards just done to your specific needs for only $50. Man, how can you beat that? Unless you know Professor Bear and you use the code BEAR15, you get 15% off your entire order. I mean, what's better than that? That is Chops cards and print on demands. You're number one for trading cards. Now, it's been a little minute since Professor Barris did this, so I'm trying to get myself back up. And would you not know, I have got the perfect guest to restart the energy. These gentlemen, I met them through Joe Monroe. So right off the bat, you know, they have a problem because they're friends with Joe like I am. So we all got little issues. But I heard their story, loved what I heard, and I wanted to get you, my fans, their story on how they became podcasters and how they love wrestling. So this is my guys from Brothers of Discussions. Guys, what's going on?
What's up, man?
Thanks for having us on, man. I appreciate it.
Oh,
Yeah, absolutely.
So, one of the first things I wanted to know, this is the first thing I always ask every guest. How did y'all get started into liking wrestling?
I'll start. It's where we grew up. We're from Allentown, PA. So we live near Ag Hall, where they filmed a lot of WWF and then early WWF. So, you know, when I was a kid, I saw, you know, Bret Hart, Yokozuna, Undertaker, Owen Hart, Shawn Michaels, all in Allentown, Stabler Arena, same thing. We're East Coast guys, so they kind of came through our area a lot. The loop was Hamburg, Reading, Allentown, Bethlehem, and then up into New York. And they did that big loop all the way around. So we were fortunate to grow up with it. So I think a lot of it was because of us, of where we grew up. It was kind of in our blood. And my father in particular, my real father, he was really big into wrestling. And I remember watching it. He had a SummerSlam 89 shirt, and, you know, that was in Nassau Coliseum. So he was there. So I kind of grew up around it.
That's cool.
As for me, it was, I guess, happen chance. My dad was addicted to dubbing tapes. So we would go to Blockbuster and anything. He'd rent anything and he'd dub it. And then I'm watching it. And I one day came across, I can't remember the name of it, but I know it was a tournament. The Junkyard Dog won. And the main event on the DVD was Hogan versus Piper, and Hogan was still in the white tights. And that just Junkyard Dog and Hogan and Piper just blew me away. And ever since then, I've been hooked.
It was the wrestling classic.
Yes.
I remember that specifically because the Dog took on Macho Man. And Macho Man got disqualified, and Junkyard Dog won the tournament. I'm old, but
we're not far behind you, buddy.
Love me some Junkyard Dog.
So, with that, so you got into it and y'all start liking it and stuff. What brought? Let's go into what brought y'all together.
We met in school, and honestly, wrestling was kind of what brought us our friendship together. Was wrestling and music. Those two things, you know, as kids, those are kind of the things you kind of talk about. Sports teams, you know, we didn't like the same teams at all, but we like the same sports, and that led to wrestling and music, and that's been our tying. I think that's really what brought our friendship together, was us meeting in school and then just getting into wrestling. And then him and I went to wrestling shows together as kids. We got brought up at Ag Hall. We went to a memorial show at Ag Hall for Gary Albright, and that was put together by the Wild Samoans. So we got to see who was it? It was Jericho and Eddie Guerrero in the main
Jericho
event.
Versus Guerrero
at a house show. It was, man, that's some good shit in 2001. So
there was a ton of names there that night too, man.
It was like Rikishi was there, Rob Van Dam was there. There was a lot of people showing out.
We got to see an 8-year-old Lance Anoa'i do the people's elbow.
Oh wow!
And Alpha Jr. there too. He wrestled with Snook, which was cool. I mean, that was it was a great night. So yeah. I think our relationship to this day is a lot of it's based in pro wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, even though most of the stuff he likes is awful.
Oh,
And it's just I don't know. I thought as you get older your taste evolves, but no, his hasn't.
mine has.
So, with that being said, what were y'all, the early wrestling guys? Who were your guys? Who, no matter what you were doing, if he came to the ring, y'all were all about it. Y'all stopped everything.
That's Mr. Perfect for me. It always has been. Still to this day, if somebody puts on a wrestling event and Mr. Perfect's on the card, I'm watching the entire thing until I get to see him wrestle. The guy was just, to me, phenomenal. Plus, I always was drawn. We said this before. I'm always drawn to the heel characters. That arrogance, that cockiness, and then you can back it up. The boxing, I love Mayweather. You know what I mean? So it's like, I need that guy that runs his mouth but can back it up.
Hogan was my guy. Come on. Anybody that says they weren't a Hogan guy is a liar. He was my guy. To the point where, one of my earliest memories was him losing by count out to the Genius and me crying to my real father, like, that Hulk Hogan lost on TV. I can't believe this. And he was just laughing and laughing, knowing it was bullshit. But me taking it so serious, like my guy lost. But, I think for me, I've had a guy every decade. So like Hogan was my guy in the 80s. Bret Hart, he was my guy in the 90s. I think Stone Cold kind of took the reins in the 2000s. And then for me, it was Jericho up to really now. I think he kind of carried that for me. And those were my guys that I whatever, if they were in a match, I got to see it.
So I'm going to do you a super solid favor. I am going to introduce you to the one kid that I know for a fact did not like Hulk Hogan.
Oh my gosh.
Me.
Yeah.
And I can tell you exactly why I hated Hogan. I'm in the South.
I was just going to say that. It's demographic. I'm in the Northeast. So your guy was Ric Flair or probably JYD and King Harley Race. Like, I get it. Like, those were the guys then.
Because for me, it was NWA.
Yeah.
Then WCW. But it was, look. Woo, baby. It's the Nature Boy. But again, you're so right. Depending on where you grew up, and it just changed a lot of people's opinion of a lot of different things. And for me, wrestling was real, and Hogan represented fake toy thing, and I couldn't get it out of my head. Plus, I was lucky that we could afford cable, so I got a taste of a lot of different wrestling in the 80s era, like World Class, the AWA. I can actually even remember when Hulk Hogan was in the AWA, which is, again, tells you how old I am and how big of a wrestling fan that my family were, because we just knew a lot. But
was he Sterling Golden then?
No, but my brother knew him as such, because he actually wrestled in Knoxville for a while, which is another crazy thing. And like Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, to me, he's not Mr. Perfect. He's Kurt Hennig. I remember him when he won the AWA world title.
Yep.
I remember when him and Scott Hall were tag team partners, which Scott looked like a bargain
Magnum PI.
Yes. But with all that being said, what kept y'all into wrestling and what drove y'all to do a podcast?
So I did stop watching. It was probably a 3 or 4 year run where I wasn't watching. I'd still watch WrestleMania and the Royal Rumble, but I wasn't tuning in every week because I was out, partying and chasing women and being young. But what brought me back into it was actually a friend of mine when I was living in Delaware showed me TNA with the 6-sided ring, and I got to see Samoa Joe and AJ Styles, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And I still wasn't watching it regularly, but Aaron's son, I came back from Delaware when Aaron got married to be one of his groomsmen, and his son was watching wrestling, and I was like, hey, what's going on here? And he explained to me the storyline that was happening, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna check this out, and I was hooked again instantly.
Yeah, and what's crazy about that is my kids are what got me back into wrestling. My last WrestleMania I watched was WrestleMania 21, and I just got out of it for a while, and I was really sick the night of WrestleMania 26, and I'm scrolling through, and they used to show the ads before pay-per. This was back. I'm showing my age right here too. Talking about pay-per-views and watching not even a pre-show, but like them hyping it up before. And I saw that Bret Hart was wrestling Vince McMahon. And I saw Money in the Bank, which I didn't see at that time. I was like, what the hell is this match? So that drew me to it. And my kid kind of filled me up on it. And that got me back into wrestling. So like John said, I got into it because of my kid. And when he lived in Delaware for a while. When he came back to Pennsylvania, he was like, we got into wrestling again. And we just picked right back up where we left off. And again, what's crazy is, you're talking about what you watched because of NWA, how much of a bubble I think the Northeast was with WWF.
Right.
I didn't even know who the hell Ric Flair was when he came to WWF. I'm like, who is this guy with like the white blonde hair? And then he started kicking ass. I'm like, this guy's fucking awesome. I didn't know shit about the Four Horsemen until I was like a teenager because I didn't watch WCW and we didn't have NWA. We didn't have that. And I wasn't really buying the after mags or anything until I got a little bit older. And all I wanted to see was ECW because that's what I could see, and WWF. So for me, I was in such a bubble that my fandom came later when I really got into history and started reading and watching old stuff and realizing how much better wrestling was, I think, with the territories and how you could have different guys on top and swap them out. And there was so much more, I don't know. It was a different feel.
It is funny that you say it like that because I think I see now more of the modern wrestling going back to the territorial days where you can have guys on top in one location and then they'll leave and go to a different region and they'll start at the bottom or whatever, but it's that territorial feel for me that I really love, and it's a good way of learning different audience if you get to the big shows like WWE or AEW.
Yeah,
I think that's because wrestling's cool again. There was a while where it wasn't. Now you have all these different organizations that actually have ways for you to view them. So it helps make it feel like each one of them are important rather than like somebody will be like, hey, did you see Ring of Honor? And I'm like, back then I'm like, what's that? And then I had to search to find this thing. You know what I mean? Now it's a little easier to find and the stuff is good. When you're a wrestling fan, you like good wrestling. Doesn't matter where it's coming from.
I mean, so with you saying that, do you find yourself looking at wrestling to enjoy wrestling, or do you find yourself like, I have to look at it in a certain light?
I try to enjoy everything. I try to, but I don't enjoy everything. I really give it the old go. But I don't know. I'm kind of closed-minded when it comes to the way I like my wrestling. Every now and then there's certain types of matches and stuff that in bits and pieces, I like it. But when it's a constant. I need it. I need more. So like we speak frequently. Aaron's more of a fan of AEW, and I'm more of a fan of WWE. Personally, I'm enjoying AEW more because I believe the storylines are getting much better. They have been getting better over the last year and a half. So I do enjoy it much more than I did before. WWE, I enjoyed the most because of the storylines, not necessarily the wrestling, because some of the guys that are on top are very good wrestlers, but they're good entertainers.
Right.
So
I look at it like this, man. If I'm choosing to watch it, I'm going in there positive as hell. I'm not going to force myself to watch something I don't want to watch. You know what I mean? So
Right.
if I'm putting it on, I'm already going into it thinking it's going to be good. And I hate being overcritical. You know, even with our podcast, like I try not to be one of those guys that's like overcritical on something like that because I just want to watch it. Like it's a very weird genre of wrestling. Like there aren't very many other, you know, like they don't go on and talk about, you know, the episode of Sopranos and what Tony Soprano did on an episode. It's just, it's really a very, you know, it's a different animal with wrestling. So for me, if I'm watching it, I'm going into it with open eyes, going back to being a kid and trying to just enjoy myself. You know, that's why we have lit matches. We drink and smoke to enjoy the matches. So by the time we're getting through a match, I'm already gone anyway, and I'm enjoying myself. So.
Well, and the main reason why I asked that question, with y'all being podcasters like myself, sometimes I catch myself, I'm over analyzing. It's like, oh, he's wearing a red boot. That doesn't go with the storyline that B, A, C, D. And I have to like pull myself, like, stop criticizing, stop looking, just watch. If it makes sense, instead of looking at it, watch it.
I think I'm only overly critical when it's dog shit. It's when it's not good, then I go a little overboard with it. Like there's certain people that I don't think are good at all, but a lot of people like them. They're very popular and people are big fans of these people. But no, I think they're awful. So and I stand on it. I'll tell everybody exactly how I feel about it. And you know, we've had several comments and people barking at me like, "No, you're crazy." Well, no, you're just stupid. I'm not crazy. That guy sucks.
I think the overcritical thing, man, you're beating yourself up because that's what everybody does. Like I think even when you're not being overcritical, you kind of think you're being overcritical just because you're talking about it, you know? So it's one of those it's gotten weird where it's gotten very tribalistic or tribal. There's a lot of tribalism, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
Even if you're saying something that has validity and you're saying it in a calm, cool, collective voice, someone may interpret it differently anyway. So I go into it with just sheer confidence. Like, look, this is what I like. This is what I see. It's only my opinion. Either like it or don't.
So how did y'all decide, you know what, let's get together and let's make a podcast? How did that come about?
So originally, I want to say 15, 16 years ago, Aaron and his brother were doing a podcast together. Yeah. And I came on as a guest. It was, I think the episode I came on was like your top 5 heels of all time. And I really enjoyed it. And then Aaron's brother started being a little flaky with making it to go record stuff. So I was like, hey, I live 2 blocks from you. I'll come over. Let's do it. And Aaron and I did a show. It was the Brothers in Armbar. We did that for, I don't know, probably 8 months. And then my life got absolutely nuts and I wasn't able to do it anymore. But this time around, we actually had a party for Royal Rumble. And a friend of ours who is wrestling now under the name Corporal Punishment, he's doing LPW and House of Glory as well. He's been working with them. He had a little podcast he was doing, which he recently stopped because training for wrestling has taken over for him. And we did his show, and Francisco and I were like, hey, that was a lot of fun. We should just do this. We get together and we talk wrestling anyway. Why not put it out there, see if anybody enjoys it? And then as soon as Fran was like, yeah, let's do this, I was like, we have to call Aaron and get Aaron on board, because Aaron is the structure guy for us. If it was just me and Francisco, we wouldn't get anything done. we wouldn't get anything done. Aaron is the guy that holds us together, reels us back in. I mean, I'm very entertaining, but I need Aaron there to keep me from getting canceled, I guess.
Well, that, and like he said, I'm a structure guy. I'm a format guy. Like when they first came to me, I was like, I don't want to just start recording. Let's have a plan. Let's figure out what we want to do. And so we started watching other podcasts, and that's what kind of we decided on. Let's just talk about stuff. Let's not analyze last week's SmackDown or last week's Raw. Let's talk about, we have a Mount Rushmore of shit we're going to do with the worst managers and the worst tag teams. And we're going to go through a whole list of them. And we just pick random stuff that we think is fun. And, you know, and then we got ideas for different segments, like having a lit match. Like we thought it'd be cool. Like when we get together, we have a couple of beers and we watch wrestling. So let's do that with other people. Let's put a match on. Let's all watch wrestling together when we're at home, just hanging out. And that's kind of the structure that I brought. So even now when we do shows, they'll text me, hey, what are we doing this week? I'll send them a format. This is what we're doing. And there we go. So I think you kind of need that too. Like you do it all yourself. So kudos to you, man. But we all have like a role that we play. And I think without that, like it wouldn't work. So I'm glad that we have that. You know what I mean? It's a nice little, everybody has their own piece.
I'm an idea guy. I come up with these ideas and I throw them out there, and Aaron's the one that actually makes them possible for us to do. It's kind of, you ever see that movie Envy with Jack Black and Ben Stiller?
Yeah.
The vaporize. He just had the idea. You know, what about a spray that makes dog poop disappear? Well, I'm Jack Black, and Aaron's that crazy European guy that figured out how to do it.
And that, what I like about that is y'all can bounce off of each other. You one of y'all can stop the other one when you go too far and deep. It's always good to always have that your team around you, especially when everybody knows what everybody does. So it makes it fun. Just like you said, and the creative part, you don't have to just come up with the ideas on your own. You got a partner, he can come up with something, or one of those days, y'all all not feeling it, like, you know what, we're going to just do this. Screw it, we're just doing this. I personally, I have fun with working with someone because I seem like I bounce off of people very easily. But then I think about some of the creative stuff that I would like to do. And I think, well, it's easier for me to do what I want to do. No one else has the vision I do. And sometimes it's hard to explain what my ideal is. So and then I got put in the position that it was like either I was going to do it, as the old people used to say, either shit or get off the pot.
Mm-hmm. So, with us, the other thing I do, Aaron, I just gave him a bunch of credit, a lot of praise there, but he also does stuff where he knows it's going to piss me off, and he gives me these layups because he knows it's going to fire me up, and it's going to make me. It's going to be, yeah. He lobs that thing up there for me to kill it. Just like we just did a episode where I posted on Facebook asking wrestling opinions, and we got a bunch of them, and I disagreed with a lot of them. And somebody said something about Matt Hardy being better than Jeff Hardy, which I wholeheartedly agree with. And I had quite a few drinks in me already. So let me just say, Jeff Hardy got
eviscerated.
I went in on Jeff Hardy, unfortunately. I just rewatched that episode and I was like, wow, nobody stopped me.
That's what I wanted.
You could have punched me in the arm or something. Like, man, chill out.
That's what I wanted.
But you know what? As much as I am a Jim Cornette guy, love Jim, actually got to meet him twice. As much as it's going to pain me to say this, and I know a lot of people are going to is gonna roast me for saying this. There is some need for people.
Your favorite guy. Your favorite guy in the world.
Yes.
The guy you love the most.
Ugh.
Vince Russo. He doesn't even want to say
Yeah,
his name. I'll say it for you.
Thank you. It is a need for him. But with all that being said, there's time and places for different things. And for Vince, I don't think he knows when to shut the fuck up, honestly. But that's neither here nor there.
It's a lot of these guys, though. Bischoff doesn't know when to shut the fuck up either.
Yeah, but you know what? The one thing that I think is different about Vince Russo and Bischoff put the time and energy. He didn't just come out of nowhere. He started as a commentary for the AWA. He's worked. So I respect his opinion more than I do Rusev, because if nothing else, Bischoff is a wrestling fan. Russo doesn't give a fuck about it. He's just about making money and doing anything which, again, if that's your deal, that's your deal. But you don't have to shit on what I like and make my product crap because you don't give a damn about it. And that's the part that really pisses me off about him. But again, the great thing about wrestling, everybody has an opinion and can do your opinion. Just like I tell most people, if you don't like my opinion, don't watch. Maybe I'm not for you.
Yes, change it.
Yeah, turn it off. But I know when to shut up too. That's another thing. I don't keep baiting people because everybody has opinions. Just because the opinion coming from me doesn't mean it's 100% right. I can be shown that I'm wrong and take it and go on about life. But some people, they were going to go on and on and on. Where it was fun, now this is ridiculous. So I think and you mentioned earlier, the tribalism.
Yeah.
It's gone too far.
What I think is crazy too is, the tribalism, a lot of it is brought on by the Jim Cornettes, by the Vince Russos, by the Eric Bischoffs, because these, our generation looks up to them. So when they're on Twitter and they're like, "Oh, AEW this," and they're just down talking everything that isn't WWE, it makes them they're the ones kind of putting that divide in between fans. It's not the fans. And it's not the wrestlers. Like, you don't see many wrestlers going on and saying, other than CM Punk really, saying how difficult AEW was or and vice versa. They're always usually pretty cordial because they know at the end of the day, they want to go back to either one and be able to make some money.
Exactly.
Or ain't going to AEW. Eric Bischoff ain't, and they're probably not going to WWE either. So it's weird that they take these sides. Like, I agree with you. I think they should be going into it with a much more positive outlook. And if they have those criticisms, great, but don't die on that hill, because you're going to have a lot of people on that hill dying with you. And it's making that tribalism. I really do feel like that's what started it, was the top, the top guys, like you said, Jim Cornette, you brought up Russo, those guys that are just constantly bashing everything. That's why there is this great divide in this tribalism right now. I don't think it was from the fan. I really don't.
Well, and you make such a great point, because if you think about it, when a lot of older wrestlers got podcasts, they are like, oh, Bret Hart. I never thought that Bret would be such a bitter old man.
Yeah.
I mean, I have things that happen in life. Y'all had things that happen in life that you may not like, but it's not the end all be all. Every time you get in front of a camera, this thing. I hate Bill Goldberg. Goldberg this. Dude.
Shawn Michaels is a homo, right? Like, it's what he does.
The Canadians are
he's
supposed to be
mad.
friendly. I don't know what his deal is. He should be happy. You know what I'm
We
saying?
actually said he's the meanest Canadian. He's the angriest Canadian.
He,
Canadians are
he,
supposed to be like these friendly people, and he's not.
I think
well,
with
hell,
Brett, he
I
just carries
talk-
baggage. He carries
I would
baggage
say
for no reason.
more than an angry Canadian. He's
Yeah.
the angriest person on the North America. I mean, just again, if you could constantly live your life with such anger, you can't enjoy anything. He has a beautiful wife. He got beautiful grandkids. He's still alive. Unfortunately, his brother died. You know, be grateful for, and even if you don't necessarily like where the sport is, be thankful that you put your mark on the sport where you still have fans and would love to meet you. But I don't want to hear Goldberg this or that.
I think part of it is he's still trying to keep some relevancy. Everybody's moving on to these new town. You know, it's a whole different generation, and I think he's just trying to keep his name out there by saying these horrible things that he's being talked about. What's the old saying that? What is it? Bad. There's no publicity is bad publicity. Like,
Right. And it's so sad. And then I look at like some of the older guys who are positive with these guys. They may not necessarily like where the sport is going, but they're happy the sport is around. You still, you know, these guys still praise you and look up to you, and it's just amazing to me.
I think with Brett too. I think his thing is. I think with him it was real life. I think he really, like, wrestling was so much of his life that, like, when he was the world champ, he really thought he was the fucking champion of the world. Like, I think he really just, everything was so serious to him that he can't just like understand that, dude. It was a show. It's all show. Like, I hate being that guy saying it like that, but dude, that's exactly what it was. You were paid to play a part. You played it very well, like so well. And I know you took it serious and like, I get it, but it was a show. And I think it's real life to him, you know, like football players. A good example is if you injure a guy in football, they're not 30 years down the line, you know, who was it? Joe
Namath.
Yeah. Or when the quarterback for the Redskins.
Theismann.
Yeah.
Joe
Theismann.
Right.
Yes.
Who took him out?
Lawrence Taylor broke his leg.
And did he knock him out of the pile and doctors come over here? And it wasn't like a, fuck him. He didn't carry that. Exactly.
It was
They
business.
knew what they were doing.
It's business, and it wasn't personal. He wasn't intending to hurt him. It just happened.
Yeah, I do agree with him though. Fuck Bill Goldberg.
Yeah. And like, to be fair, it's not. And like, fuck him. You're right.
I agree with that too.
Bret Hart was my guy. All right. And he ended his career. But to be fair, it's not really Bill Goldberg's fault. Like, they just threw him out there. Like, they didn't train his ass. Like, that's not on him. You know, they put him through the power play and said, all right, go tackle a dude, suplex him, and pin him 157 times till you lose and get all the championships. Like, what is he supposed to say? No.
Well, he's also a bitter old man. I don't know.
That's WCW's dumbass fault for trying to push him to the moon too quick. You know, he's
also a bitter old man. I think it's that whole generation of wrestlers. They're bitter.
They are, but
it's Goldberg's over here talking shit. WWE had some girl beat my record. They had Asuka, who's one of the best female wrestlers that ever lived, beat your record. Like,
you should be proud of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It should be positive.
But I guess I go back to what you said. Some guys take it to heart.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a Ric Flair fan. Rick lives his gimmick to this day.
Yep.
That's why he's talking about getting married again. And it's like Rick does not know anything about his real self. anymore because that's all he knows. And
I mean, when
he's
he was the
always
NWA,
on.
when he was the NWA champ, he was working like, what was it, 350 days a year, 350. I mean, that's 10 days off a year. That's crazy, and that includes your travel. So really,
Yep.
you're working for years straight. So, like you said, that's just who he is now.
And 3 of those days were recovering from plane crashes.
Yeah,
Man.
there you go. Fucking goat.
So, I since I got y'all, and I know y'all got an opinion, I just watched Survivor Series Sunday, and I have my opinions about it. But what did y'all think about it?
It was a bad show. The women's War Games match was serviceable. I didn't mind it. Cena and Dom was a decent match, but there was just way too much going on. It took 6 people to beat John Cena. Well, come on, that's enough. Let's stop with that. Vaquera and Nikki Bella was okay, but Nikki Bella shouldn't even be there wrestling in that position. At least she shouldn't be in a world title match. And then the men's War Games match, all the faces are not people that are built for a match like that. The heel guys, except for Brock, could all actually go in a match like that. The face team, it's CM Punk is made of paper mache. The guy gets hurt every second. The Usos and Roman have 3 moves between the 3 of them. And then Cody, I don't know, he can't even say War Games. So I can't. It just, the team was ridiculous. Like they needed to have somebody who was actually athletic, like can still do crazy high spots. A match like War Games, you have to have high spots, and it didn't have them. Logan Paul did a couple cool things. Cody did that the crossbody coming in, but other than that, it was just a rinse and repeat shit from all those guys. I did not enjoy it. I enjoyed the ending because now there's some intrigue about who this masked man is. And I still say it was the little kid that Paul Heyman pushed after the show. that kid was actually coming to collect his money, and Paul Heyman was like, "Get out of here! I don't want nobody to know it was you."
All right, so I think if Survivor Series happened and Blood and Guts didn't, I think it would have been perceived as a better show. I really do. I just think that when you have a War Game style match like Blood and Guts was, and it lives up to that name, and when you have an essentially, and I hate to say it, a PG, a watered down version of that, it just comes off as less than. And I think that's the main thing. I personally thought they were good match. I thought they were both good War Games matches for what WWE does. I really do. I think people are they're overcomplicating the whole Jey Uso doing his thing in the middle of the match. I thought that was fucking cool. I don't see a problem with it. I know Rikishi and Too Cool did it all the time and got pops. If you looked at the crowd, it was probably the most over thing of the night. So from a business point of view,
it was stupid.
Call. And then Brock interrupting it, fucking perfect. So
that was the best part of it.
Yeah, I think again, overcritical. I think a lot of people are of it.
Because Jey Uso was doing like the Miley Cyrus wrecking ball dance on the thing. It was retarded.
I did not mind it. I thought it was a cool, fun moment. What my problem is it takes away. It shouldn't have been in a War Games match because it's War Games. You really should probably take it serious. If it was just a 5-on-5 house show, whatever, okay, or even on Raw, or even just a Survivor Series style match, cool. But in a War Games, I just thought it came off.
Yeah, it's called War.
It should be more serious. If you're gonna have a War Games match, if you're gonna have those type of matches, and you're gonna handcuff yourself with no blood, which I guess they do blood sometimes, and
they both Cody and CM Punk both bled like immediately.
Yeah, but it's not
immediately. It was like
so much of it more of it on the AEW side, that when guys like that bleed, you're like, oh, what's that? When you see thumbtacks and fucking mirrors and glass. So, and I'm not advocating for that for WWE. I like that there's a differential of, you know, you like hardcore or you like the real like mat wrestling, Japanese guys, watch some AEW. Want to watch
I think I know.
WWE is more your deal. But I think, again, people are being overcritical of Survivor Series. I will say 4 matches for a card is really weird. They could have cut down a little bit on the 2 matches, a little bit out of scene, and put another match in there. Highlight one of your titles. Like, you didn't have the tag team titles on there. You didn't have the IC title being defended. You didn't have the US title, any of the women's titles. I know they were all in other matches, but do something else on the show. That's my only beef is 4 matches. You could have did a little bit more.
See, what I'm thinking here is we're comparing Blood and Guts and War Games. So when you hear the name Blood and Guts, you expect blood and guts. When you hear War Games, you expect war. There wasn't war. So I agree with what you're saying. Blood and Guts, there was blood and guts. War Games, it didn't seem like war. The women's match, and then the only issue I had with the women's match is they did the exact same spot they did last year with the trash can and EO, which was cool.
4 years.
But why are we doing the same thing? Why couldn't we change it up? Wrap her up with something. I don't know. Put some barbed wire around her, have her jump on somebody. Do something different, not a trash can. I don't know.
Again, I think if you didn't see Blood and Guts prior, it would have came off as a little cooler. It came off as watered down because of it.
Now, I would say definitely this is part of the tribalism, but these are true facts.
Yeah.
It was a brilliant move for Tony Khan to make Blood and Guts go when it did. It was a way of making WWE's match seem cheaper, less than, without having to say a word. I think that, yes, the women's match was serviceable. I knew the trash can spot and one thing I did not know, that EO has been in every War Games. So that means she's done that spot in every women's War Game. It's always, and what was interesting is that they had the women's reverse, where the faces had the advantage.
Yeah.
Now, me being the person I am, it's hard to get that right heat because you always should have the heels do it. But they changed it. Now, I was like, oh, okay, this is silly. Now you're making them look bad. And as AEW, they did the same thing, but they took one of their people out in the back. So that gave them the advantage. It was a brilliant move. Little subtle things like that makes a difference.
Well, you know why they had the faces have the advantage in the women's War Games. It's because if you look at the heel team, they had less faith in those people to be able to go as long as the face ones. Lash Legend is unproven, unfortunately. Nia Jax has proven that she can botch and hurt somebody and she can't go for that long. You know what I mean? Kairi Sane, she's good, but in WWE she hasn't been that good. So on that heel team, all you had was what, Asuka and
Becky.
Yeah, those were the good ones. So I think that's why they changed that. But also that was the thing I was saying about the male War Game matches. Like CM Punk started. That was crazy to me. Why is he the first one in there? Is it because Jey Uso gets blown up doing his entrance? Can't even breathe by the time he gets to the ring. Roman, I don't know, Roman can't be in there for more than 20 minutes because that's against his beliefs, I guess. The team just didn't. I don't know. I just don't like. I think that they need to do away with war games, and they need to bring war games in every now and then when storylines intersect and make sense to have a war games. Let's go back to the traditional Survivor Series. Get every guy on the roster a chance to shine for one night.
Yeah, I like that idea, but I'm gonna tell you on the main reason why I've never liked the war games in WWE, and they proved it with this last one. Why in the hell do you have a battle when you can just go over the top? Oh, you'll be immediately fired, or da, da, da. But you had somebody jump the damn cage, interfere, and roll out. No problem. It's okay. He just helped the team win, and that's okay. If you are having any type of war fight, if I don't like you, me and you are gonna fight. We want to fight where it's just me and you. We get somewhere where it's just me and you, not where 6, 7 people can run in, grab my arms, you can punch me, and then I'm out, and you can say, I knocked him out.
Who was it? Who was it in the mask?
Oh, that was Austin Theory.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, I know so. Now, where they say it was Austin Theory is a whole different beast.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that it could have been anybody, and they'll just whoever they decide. Just keep the mystery going.
So
let's say Jericho does come back to WWE. They could just be like, yeah, that was Jericho.
That's the rumor I heard.
But I'm just saying it's interesting, but it should be Theory because I want him to get the push.
Again, it's just, to me, some things. I guess I'm too sense driven in storylines. Make stuff make sense. And it bothers me that they still do storylines that are just stupid as hell. I can't call it because okay, you got Brock, the killer. He got everybody moves and laid there for the rest of the match. He took a nap. He probably got a meal just to take a damn nap.
No, he took 3 Superman punches, Bear. That's got to count for something, right?
Yeah, that him and Roman could have a good conversation. Man, thank you for teaching me how to do this so I don't have to go every day. So, okay, take Brock aside, because once they said Brock, I was like, well, shit, this is over. You can bring anybody you want. You can bring a damn army. It doesn't matter. It's Brock.
And again, how did the match end? He wasn't even a factor. A guy with a mask on came in and ended it. They could have got out of that match.
Baby Steiner. You got Baby Steiner getting the pin. And don't get me wrong, I love Braun Breaker. I think he will be the next superstar. But the way they did it is stupid. It's just stupid. Yeah. It took that pop. He should have cleanly beat Punk.
Yeah, it would have made the promo last night mean even more if he would have just pinned him clean. The promo was great.
That, or they should have had Drew pin Cody.
Yeah.
Something. One of Braun definitely should have got the pin on somebody, but if they weren't going to choose that, then it should have been Drew getting the pin on Cody, because then they could just continue that storyline.
Hey, we can kick this another 6 months and hear how Drew keeps getting screwed, which I find funnier that he's right, but people hate him still.
I love Drew McIntyre. We're both Scottish, so I got his back.
And then, like I said, certain storylines just drive me crazy. But with all that being said, what are y'all looking for to in 2026? What are y'all looking forward to?
It's a fair question. And I don't know if it's anything to do with wrestling. I'm looking forward, honestly, I'm looking forward to family stuff. Like my kids, I have 3 fairly young kids. My oldest is 13. He just made the basketball team at school.
Nice.
So,
Congrats.
and he's becoming a very good football player as well. Those are the things I'm looking forward to. I coach his football team. That's something I'm very, very much looking forward to his next football season. As far as when it comes to wrestling, I just think that with me, Aaron, and Francisco, who apparently texted me just now, 40 minutes into our conversation, I'm not going to make it tonight. 40 minutes after he was already supposed to be here.
You got the message.
Well, hey, look, you know I can't fault him because I tried to get y'all on the hour earlier. So you get a pass from me, Francisco.
I love that with the ideas we're coming up with, the things that we're doing. Just these interviews, once we actually line up the interviews, we have so many people that we're planning on interviewing. We just haven't scheduled them yet, unfortunately. And I think that the dynamic between the 3 of us, all these interviews are going to be very insightful and funny. Because when it comes down to it, I'm going to make somebody laugh. I'm going to make probably everybody that we interview feel uncomfortable at one point. That's what I do. I'm a little bit of a button pusher, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm looking forward to interviews and my kids' sports.
Yeah, from the wrestling side, man, I'm looking forward to some people coming back. Will Ospreay will be coming back, and there's some guys that are on the shelf, and we have a storyline now with a masked character that's going to be carrying into 2026. So at least there's something there, and maybe the evolution of Braun Breaker, and maybe they'll drop the Breaker part and just call him Braun Steiner because he's a fucking Steiner. I think it's the stupidest thing ever. I know, like that was a Vince thing. Like Vince wants to own your name. All right, guess what? He's gone. So just let him be a Steiner. He looks like a Steiner. He wrestles like a Steiner.
I did see an interview where he said that he didn't want to take the family name because he didn't want to make it seem like he. But then they brought in Rick and made it very clear that he was part of the family.
And I understand that aspect, and it's a lot to carry. Okay, but he's different. He's a freak. Okay, and now that he's got his feet under him, he can transition. He can just say, I'm Braun Steiner or whatever. But I don't know. I hate the name. I just can't stand Braun Breaker. It reminds me a little bit of Dolph Ziggler. I think if Dolph Ziggler had any other fucking name, he probably would have been better. But at the end of the day, when you're like, ugh, Dolph Ziggler, I can't. It's just, it's a terrible name.
His real name isn't much better.
Nick Nemeth would have been, or what is it?
Nick Nemeth.
Yeah, that would have been better.
No, it's not better. It's actually probably worse.
Awful.
I think alliterative names with alliteration, they suck. I hate them. Automatically, if you came in and you're like, my name is James Johnson, I don't like you.
So, with that being said, how do y'all feel about Samoa Joe getting the world title again in AEW?
I love it, personally. Yeah. I'm a big Samoa Joe guy. Love it. The way they did it was great. Him and Hangman. Aaron will tell you. What do I feel about Hangman?
You hate him.
I hate Hangman. Hate him. But he's been doing some really good work in 2025. I'll give him that. 2025 may have changed my mind a little bit on Hangman. But I think it's been a good battle between the two of them. And then Samoa Joe's such a badass. Like, if he's not holding the title, something wrong with your company. They should have had him beat Brock when they were at Great Balls of
Hell
Fire,
yeah.
the dumbest pay-per-view name ever.
Yeah.
He should have choked Brock out.
Or at least even with Brock winning, not one fucking F5. He should have had to do it like 7 times before he was out. They just, Jesus, they dropped the ball on Joe.
Yeah.
I will say this. I was super surprised that Joe got it again. I'm a Joe fan, big Joe fan. I thought it was too early to get the title off of Hangman, but after, I think we all do this as we look at something and it happens, then you get a chance to really think about it. I think that was a good one because, after all, Hangman is better in the chase than the championship run. Most faces. Most faces are better in the chase than when they win.
And so, it didn't hurt him.
No.
In the process, I mean, really in the process of that match, you got Hook over as a heel. You got the Ops over even bigger. And when you're looking at world champions right now, and you're looking at an image of Samoa Joe completely covered in blood, holding that belt up behind a cage.
Yeah.
It's like the definition of badass. Like, so again, from a visual point of view, Tony Khan, again, he knows what he's doing. He knew what he was doing, having these matches and like setting it up that way. Like you said, like, I agree with you. I think it was a little quick to get it off page, but it made sense. If you're going to put it on somebody, he's the guy to put it on. And that type of match, that way, it was just perfectly done. It made everybody look bigger. Swerve coming out of that match, like he's back now. Like, you got them two as a tag team potentially. As I don't know, that's a whole another thing right now too. Like, the match was done perfectly. It really was.
I got 2 observations from all of that. I love that Hook was wearing the Avirex jacket.
Yeah.
Because Bear, I don't know if you know about it, but up here, so Hook's from Brooklyn, New York, up here in the Northeast, Avirex was something. That was a brand. Like, if you was wearing Avirex, people were like, "Yo, this dude, look at this dude." You know what I'm saying? So I loved it. Then Hangman, I'm looking at Hangman as like, I don't like doing this, but it's kind of like, I look at him kind of like a Stone Cold almost. He's like the everyman redneck, and he's badass everyman redneck. Like, he's kind of AEW's version of Stone Cold, just not at the level as Stone Cold was, because I don't think anybody could ever get to that same level.
Right.
But I think I look at it as that kind of idea, like redneck, badass, everyman guy that you kind of drinking beer and fighting, which is I'm starting to come around to the idea of liking Hangman.
It's a relatable character. I think it's a relatable character.
You know why? Because I'm not a redneck, but I'm drinking beer and I'm pretty badass.
Like you said, like, they go to Las Vegas,
every man,
or they'll go to a city not in the South and they'll chant cowboy shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They're in New York chanting cowboy shit. Come on, it's crazy.
One thing too that I give Tony Khan a lot of credit for, and a lot of people are irritated, is Bobby Lashley. They're like, "Oh, you got an automatic world champion. Why are you not putting him in?" La la la. My thing is, Tony Khan. I think, and it's just my opinion, I think he realized he has a bunch of contenders, legitimate contenders that could challenge for the belt. You don't have to do anything with Bobby right off the bat. You keep teasing that. So now, what happens if Bobby and Joe goes at it? What you have different ways when Ospreay come back. That's another contender. You got Kenny Omega. Mm-hmm. You have so many different tools Why be obvious where you're going? You don't have to be. You can play these games. And personally, as I tell anyone, with anybody that's in podcasting like we are, we watch and see everything. But when you can fool us, we love it, because we hate to be able to sit back. Oh, well, hell, here he comes. This is going to happen. And it happens that way. It's like, what the fuck? we like to be fooled. We like different things.
You know, and you bring up Bobby Lashley. It's a great point. I think with Lashley, look at who he's worked with in AEW and where they are now. Ricochet.
Yep.
FTR, Bandito, all the teams and all the people that they intermingled with, they were better because they were working with Lashley and Shelton and MVP for that matter. Like that faction, the way that they kind of handled that business, like you said, Bobby Lashley go and just run house. He could be the champ, and Shelton can win another belt too, and they can win the trios titles and run it all. But the way that they're doing it, like you didn't think they were going to come in and be a tag team and then win the tag team titles pretty quickly. But everybody they wrestled with essentially was better because of it. So again, they're being booked.
That's been Lashley though his entire career. If you look at it in WWE, everybody that went in against Lashley in some sort of rivalry came out looking better
When he came
by
back,
the end of it.
when he came back, like with his first run, when he was
the
green,
second run.
it was different. Yeah. He had to go out and wrestle in other companies, fight, do the Bellator shit and really punch people. And I think that really helped him, to be able to kind of know how to handle yourself in a real fight and then kind of translate that into being able to make it look legit. And he's one of the most legit looking motherfuckers. Like between him, Brock, these guys who are legit MMA fighters, that's probably why, because at any moment they could just be like, all right, I'm going to turn it on for real,
Right. This is my final question before we get out of here. Shelton Benjamin is one of my favorite athletes. I mean, I've always been a big Shelton fan. Two things about Shelton since he came to AEW. One, I never realized on how big Shelton fucking is. He's a beast. And my old co-host on the Baron Blade show actually got to meet Shelton, took a picture with him. He actually hung out at Keith Lee's and Mia Yin's house at a Christmas party. He took a picture. I'm sitting there looking at him. Shelton, I'm like, Jesus, I would have never known. But the way AEW presents him, the way he suplexes people, I've never seen someone do a super next to Rick Steiner. I've never seen anybody make a suplex look like it could kill you.
Yeah.
The way Shelton has anything even his super kick. I'm thinking, I thought
he took your head off.
When he started doing it, I'm like, shit, did the heartbreak kick to your face translate to the way you do it?
No.
And he's almost 50.
Yes.
Crushing. Like unbelievable. He's like a freak. We saw him
Benjamin's body. Yeah, his body, he is actually shaped like a Nintendo 64 wrestling game character.
Yeah.
It's just like blocky, but it's like blocks of muscle. And that's just how his body's built. It's crazy. And the guy is so athletic. At 50 years old, I can't listen, I sneeze and I might have to lay down for the rest of the day. I might have to be on bed rest after a sneeze. Yeah. This guy's almost 50.
Look,
doing things that I couldn't even dream of doing.
You're talking about a man who is 52. I'm 52. I've had, 5 hip surgeries? 2 back surgeries.
From all that bumping and grinding, huh?
Man, I'm going to plead the fifth on that.
There you go.
But
Smart move. Smart move.
it is just in his kicks, like when he runs to the ropes and gives you that knee lift.
Yeah, that Shining Wizard.
Oh my God. But I said that was the last one, but I'm going to ask y'all this. As much wrestling as we all have watched, who is the one person that did not get a world title run that you would say should have?
Go ahead first, Aaron, because I got a couple of them, and I want to think of which one I think is the best to say.
I think Matt Hardy is probably the one. I think when him and Edge had
Because he's better than Jeff.
I think when him and Edge had their feud, like the real life shit.
Oh yeah.
I think that was a lost opportunity to make a mega baby face. You had a super relatable situation, 2 friends like torn over a girl. Like they could have made him the biggest baby face ever. And they just didn't. They really
didn't do it.
It's going to be a weird comparison, but Damian Sandow is in there. When he was doing Mizdow, that thing got so over. Like at one point, people were watching just for that. The Royal Rumble, the one that he was in at one point, they were chanting and they almost took over that fucking show for that guy. Those are those moments where it's like people are telling you what they like and you just don't get it. And like I'm not putting them on the same level, but I think Matt Hardy should have had a legit world title run at some point. I know he was the ECW world champ, but that does not count.
Right.
I mean, you guys know I'm going to say Mr. Perfect, but to go away from that, a guy who looked like he legitimately should have been a world champion, carried himself like he could have been a world champion, Rick Rude.
Ooh.
I think Rick Rude should have been, even if it was just transitional in WWE. We always say, you might be badass, but you're not wear your opponent's wife on your crotch your opponent's wife's face on your crotch badass. Rick Rude, he could go. He looked the part. The guy was phenomenal. He should have been world champ in WWF back in the day.
I have 2 myself. Shelton Benjamin. They should have put the strap on him. And Arn Anderson. Arn was the heart and soul of the Horsemen, bar none. You can say whatever you want. Rick was the leader, Rick this, Rick that. But when it boiled down to bled, fought, anything for a Horseman, it was Arn. I thought Arn should have gotten, for everything he's done for them, he should have at least got one damn title run. And on top of that, he is one of the few people in this business to beat Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm.
Clean.
Here's something interesting. Our logo, the Brothers of Discussion podcast logo, is the 3 of us. It's actually a cropped picture. It's the 3 of us with Arn Anderson and Brock Anderson. But it's cropped just to show the 3 of us for our logo.
That's
we
cool.
love us some Arn Anderson.
Yeah, and I'll take it one step further. Like I said, at the beginning of the show, I really got into the history of wrestling later, and really got into the Horsemen. When you think of the TV title, who do you think of?
Arn, I have it above my head.
There you go. So from that aspect, if I were him, that's a pretty good fucking legacy, because a lot of dudes held that title, but that was his title. That was his. And again, a world title would have been great, one run, but that legacy of when you think of the TV title, oh, that was Arn Anderson's title, right? That's what most people think.
You think of Arn Anderson and you think of Stunning Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I think of Arn anytime. Now that I've done my history and watched it,
for sure,
he was the man. Arn's that dude. Good call.
Arn is so he's not overlooked, but he's not really appreciated for
Agreed.
what he's done for the business. I don't think. Even to this day, even with his son, but with Cody wouldn't be the Cody we see today if it wasn't for Arn.
Agreed.
And Arn got that thing on him, bro.
Sure does.
He keeps taking like he definitely about it.
Yeah.
Again, I keep saying last, but since we're down this little quick rabbit hole,
Yeah.
with FTR, they are the modern day Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard to me.
Mhm.
Yep.
And they both were part of their group at one point or another.
Mhm.
How fucking amazing had that had to be for those guys. Not only you got to talk to these guys, mingle with them, but they actually helped you in different programs. I mean, and a lot of people look at you as in the top 5 of tag team wrestling, arguably in the world, and not just the world, just lifetime. And you put them up against the Road Warriors, the Dudleys, of course, the Briscoes, the New Day, the Usos. But I love no matter what they do, they stay true to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I love how they dedicate little things like they have a redone Midnight Express theme.
So good. Dude, they're wrestling fans. You know what I mean? They're wrestling. Yeah. I think the coolest thing from all of that, honestly, was them tagging with Tully.
Yeah.
Tully hitting the slingshot suplex on Dynamite was bananas. Like, you didn't see that coming. Not only did you not see that coming, you didn't.
His daughter's a racist, by the way. Anyway.
Like, I just never thought you'd see Tully come back, let alone to do something like that. But the fact that they got to do that, oh, come on. You could have called it a career there. That's it. I'm done. Good enough.
So when we did we did the Mount Rushmore of Mount Rushmores. We did 4 episodes with 4 categories, Mount Rushmores. So it was the Mount Rushmore of Mount Rushmore episodes.
Okay.
We did tag teams, and the Brainbusters were on my Mount Rushmore of tag teams. I think so highly of them, and it's funny that you say that FTR is like the modern day Brainbusters, because they really are. Like, I didn't put 2 and 2 together, but I love FTR. I loved them when they were the Revival. I love you know what I mean? When I remember when they came from NXT and debuted on Raw or SmackDown, I damn near pissed my pants. I was so excited. I mean, I also have an issue. Sometimes I pee myself. But
look, if you get my age, man, look. I used to laugh and make fun. Shit, now I know a whole much better. Guys, man, thank y'all for coming on. This has been great. We got to do it again sometime. Well, we are actually in January. We'll be doing this again.
Yes, hopefully Francisco won't be 40 minutes late on a text this time.
hopefully.
Yeah.
Man, one other thing, and this was earlier thought, but y'all have his son to thank for all of this, because if it wasn't for him, man, that's a beautiful thing. It really
he just walked by. Actually, he just got out of work and just walked by off camera. It's crazy you said that. Eric, my son Eric, just walked by right now.
Crazy. You tell him thank you for me.
I will. I got you.
Guys, y'all have any shout outs or anybody you want to thank or whatever? The floor is yours.
Nah, we want to thank you. Give a little shout out to A Bear's Thoughts. Everybody, check them out, man. I mean, you're watching it right now, but watch it more. Joe Monroe show. I love messing with Joe. I give Joe such a hard time. It's so much fun for me. The Till 5 guys, I like going back and forth with Tanner. We like all these guys. All these guys, we have fun with them. The confusion, Rob,
Yes.
hilarious. Card Subject to Change, CZ is awesome, bro. We've met so many people just through networking when we started doing this podcast that I think all of you guys are awesome people.
Appreciate it.
You're all different from each other. You very unique characters, and it's been fun. Shout out to Francisco, who's late for everything. He might log on here as soon as we finish. You never know. Shout out to Aaron's brother, who's like, "Yo, I'll be there," and he ain't ever there.
It's all good.
That's how we did our first podcast.
No, check
Matt
us out
Hardy's
on
better.
Facebook.
Matt Hardy's better
Yeah.
than Jeff Hardy. Randy Orton sucks.
Oh my God.
Let
me plug our shit real quick, man. Goddamn.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. We have a fucking podcast. We're on Facebook, guys. You can check us
We do.
out. The Brothers of Discussion podcast.
forgot.
We're on YouTube, Brothers of Discussion podcast. We have interviews lined up coming up very soon. Don't forget to check out Lit Matches that are also on there. I do want to thank my man, Professor Bear. We'll definitely like chopping up. And again, I want to say something real quick. We have the ability in this wrestling community of podcasts to keep the positivity going. And we don't have to all be negative and shitty about everything. We can come on and chop it up and have fun and have a good time and not shit on everything. So just go out and enjoy wrestling, have fun, and just try to be positive about shit, man.
Man, and honestly, that's one of the reasons why I'm doing the podcast appreciation month, man. It's too many of us out here who have fun. And again, we all are trying to get into the same space, but it's enough of this space we can share, have fun, and like you said, shit, if you don't like what we're doing, don't watch us.
Yeah.
It's so many different people.
No, still watch it. Still watch it. Subscribe. Share. Tell everybody you know about it. Say, I watch this podcast, Brothers Discussion. I fucking hate those guys. You should check it out.
That's actually a great plug. Again, gentlemen, I appreciate y'all. Can't wait to be on y'all show. Can't wait for y'all to be back in January.
Oh, we're gonna get you on our show soon. You're gonna do a lit match with us. You're gonna do a watch along.
Hell yeah,
It'll be fun.
Cool.
We're gonna find something really good for you, Barrett. It will actually something probably really bad, but it's gonna be fun to watch together.
Sure is.
That's always fun.
Yeah.
Guys, girls, thank you so much for joining me today. Had a great time. We'll be back tomorrow. Matter of fact, we'll be back tomorrow with 2 interviews. So please keep your eyes open, ears up, and like I always say, 2 paws up and just shut up, enjoy wrestling. Like my boy Joe.
And come in and join the High Bear Nation, baby. It's winter time. Get that High Bear Nation going on.
Thank y'all so much. We will see you on the next journey.